Hello, Mr. Newton here. Welcome to Hyrule War Classic Ultimate. I'm currently playing as the Force of the Twilight, and I'm playing both Twilight factions. So I am going to lose as Queen Midna. There were a bug in hotseat preventing me from playing as Queen Midna. Tried the same faction in single player and it worked fine, but then I have to sit through a very slow end turn phase where you see every single general moving pretty slowly on the map, and I didn't want to play with that end turn phase. So I will need to fix Midna in hotseat in an update later, but I can't do it now because it would screw up my Kingdom of Hyrule and Stalhounds campaigns. But my idea is that I will fix Queen Midna in hotseat later. I believe it's because of my changes to fix Zant in hotseat, which I managed to do, but now Midna is bugged instead, and she is bugged when playing single player in hotseat too, not just when playing both, but also when playing only Midna. So I'm forced to play the single player menu. I'm forced to go to single player and then start the campaign, and that menu has a really slow end turn phase. Unfortunately, I prefer playing single player in hotseat, where the end turn phase is much faster. Okay, but now we are controlling both Twili factions and losing as Midna, because I know that Imp Midna worked. I playtested that a lot before releasing the mod, so I plan on playing as Imp Midna instead. Surrender to King Zant. I offer you sorry. I offer you one chance, Midna. Surrender. You and your forces. Sorry. I offer you one chance, Midna. Surrender you and your forces to me or face death. What will it be? You will accept. You submitted to King Zant. Choose to surrender all of your forces to King Zant. Instead of killing Midna, he has chosen to spare Midna, transforming her into a twisted imp-like creature and banishing her into Hyrule. Death is most likely, but perhaps if you can survive, there is a silver lining. End of turn report: the Stalhounds undead are the strongest military in the world and the overall strongest faction. The Gorons have the largest population, the Orona province has the best production, and the Oka has the best financial situation. Settlement besieged. Yeah, I might have done a mistake again. I shouldn't have killed Midna on turn 3. I should have waited until at least turn 4. Because if I continue to play as Zant, I believe Link will spawn for Zant, replacing Link for Majora. Well, maybe that's good actually. Anyway, because good Link will still exist, so it doesn't matter. And it makes sense if I'm gonna play as Imp Midna that the evil Link would be in the Zant faction instead. Maybe that's actually good. Then Link will be buggy later if I do not kill him, and he would end up in our faction. I don't know. Okay, I believe you've taken over these areas now as Zant. Yeah, this portal is bugged. I believe Link will spawn in a turn for Imp Midna. Let's end the turn, see what happens. Right, you need to wait one turn for the strat models to change. Una, the brave, has joined Zant. Doesn't look like Una. Lady Midna is fine. Prince Zant is fine. Of course, Dark Onyx is fine. Hyrule the Dragon is fine. And all the Shadowblood pet of Zant is fine. But only Una was like Midna general prior to the surrender, so she will need one turn before she turns into Una. Will end the turn. Move the camera up too. I don't like when it's this zoomed in. Yeah, Queen Midna in hotseat doesn't work. If you want to play as Queen Midna and invade Hyrule, then you need to play single player through the single player menu. Can't play through the multiplayer hotseat, not even in single player, because the Twili Portal will become a normal general after the surrender of Zant, and after that you can't use it, so it's impossible to move back and forth from the realm. You can use the portal in Hyrule, I believe it's still normal. It still looks like a portal, so you can use the portal and go from Hyrule to the Twilight Realm. But you cannot use the portal in the Twilight Realm, so you can't go back to Hyrule unless you use cheats, which is annoying. So that will need to be fixed. So you need to play through the single player menu if you want to play as Queen Midna. The problem is that that the end turn times are so slow. When you play single player, they move much slower than this, and the camera zooms in on the general. This is very fast in comparison. This still takes time. Yeah, I will play as Imp Midna instead of as Queen Midna. I actually wanted to play as Imp Midna. I just managed to win as Queen Midna when I played this boat previously. In the first 2 episodes or so for the Twilight campaign, I played as both Prince Zant and as Queen Midna, and Midna won. So I was gonna play as Queen Midna, but then things bugged out in hotseat. Now I can play as her in single player, but it's so slow, and I prefer playing in multiplayer hotseat. I will try to fix that issue, but not now, because it will fuck up other Let's Plays and campaigns. But yeah, at some point I will update it and fix it. But I prefer playing as Imp Midna. It's more interesting. It's an underdog story. She has like almost no troops, and it'll be interesting to play. We don't need to read this stuff. We already did previously. This will still be a continuation of the other. Maybe not, but we don't need to read this again. Okay. Even if I have this as a fresh start. Oh, here I have Stalhord. He's using the Necromancer model. The Stalhord model was too high poly, didn't bother. This one still uses Stalhord's face. Stalhord, the giant under dragon. the Stalhounds. So this is in Midna. She has 2 units of Repentance. The Repentance are Twili, who have begun to embrace the world of light and have turned their back on Twili culture and the heritage of the dark interlopers, going as far as to spend extended periods of time in Hyrule sunlight to burn their skin, armed with a machete and shield. These fearsome warriors feel little pain as they confront their enemies in battle. So she has 2 units of those, and then she has a bodyguard of Repentance too. And she has a unique strat model. Of course, all the areas we used to hold are now Zant areas. Hold no areas anymore. We'll click and turn. We'll automatic attacks only. Place this in the middle. Diplomacy, we are allied to the Kingdom of Icana and the Church of Miura. We're at war with the rebels, the wild animals, the Uka, and the forces of the Twilight under Zant. So the rebels have a bunch of areas, but they will all be taken sooner or later by other factions. The wild animals have only 1 area on the map, Dungus Cavern. They will never move out of there. It's King Dodunga and a bunch of Dodungos. They also have some troops over here that will be killed off sooner or later. A bunch of Auroras and the giant Moldarek Scorpion. Okay, and then we have the Uka, Goddesses of Hyrule, led by the Mokasage of Time. He is the Pope in the game. Okay, so he can call cleansings in this game crusades, but they are named cleansings. He has 1 area, this area, but he has very, very good troops. If he gets the time to build up his troops and such, he's really strong. He's the 2nd strongest faction in the game. I believe that the Darkness are even stronger. I watched a AI only campaign, and the Darkness would win against Uka. But almost no other faction can defeat Uka. Okay. Of course Miura can, if they have like most of the map, because they get all the troops pretty much from every region, from most of the factions, but in the early game they only have like Highland troops, and if they take an Odonian area they have Odonian troops, and if they take Moblin areas they get Moblin troops. If they take Icanian areas they only get a few demon troops and Icanian shamans, I believe. So in the beginning they only have access to Highland, Odonian, Moblin, and some Icanian troops. So they are not that good. But if they are allowed to expand, then they can become really, really good, because they have access to most of the faction's troops. If they hold enough areas, meaning that the Church of Miura is really good in the late game, but not in the early game. Okay, but as the player they are pretty good in the early game too. End turn. So Una is still not changed. Pretty sure that I had fixed this in the VIP, but something is off then. I believe someone said she didn't work when they played. So that seems to be the case, but I also know that she did work when I tried the game, like back in February or so. So something is caused her not to change. Need to look her up in the script. Because she's supposed to get her own unit and model both on the map and in battle, but she is currently not correct. Very weird. So Una is currently bugged. A link did spawn for Zant. An army over here. He works for Zant. He's a bodyguard of Shadow Messengers, that's correct. I believe he works. If he turns, if Zant is killed and Midna retakes the realm, then Link still lives, then he will join Midna and have his strat model, the normal Link strat model, and the traits and the portrait, but he will not have his model in battle. So here is his model. Okay. Can give over the control of Zant to the AI. Yeah, something has caused Una the Brave not to change when Midna is killed. I believe the prerequisites is that Queen Midna needs to be dead, and Zant needs to hold all the areas in the Twilight Realm. Yeah. I don't know if it is affected by Midna or something. I will have to look that up and fix it. But I can't fix anything without breaking the Kingdom of Hyrule and Stalhounds campaigns. On the other hand, I need to fix a unit in the Stalhounds army too. The dogs, the Stalhounds. It might be worth it to screw the Stalhounds campaign and replay it. I haven't done much. I've played, I believe, 20 turns or something. I did like yesterday. I played it yesterday, so I could probably spend a night or so or an evening replaying it. As for Kingdom of Hyrule, I remember I played at least an evening. Played for a bunch of hours, but yeah, I don't really feel like replaying it again, but because I replayed it like 2 or 3 times now. Kingdom of Hyrule campaign. I had replayed it, and then I found that General Rutel or young Rutel was bugged. She didn't have her proper strat model, so then I had to exit and start all over. And yeah, and then I believe I played it again. So at least 2 times I have replayed it. And if I change anything now, then I will need to replay it again for a 3rd time. The benefit with changing stuff is that we'll fix Una the Brave, so she won't be bugged. She will get her proper strat model and battle model after joining Zant, like she had in February, when I play tested the mod. I have no idea why she no longer has it. I must have somehow messed her up somehow when I did other stuff. Okay, and then the Stalhounds will replace their Stalhound, the old Stalhound with the new, and we will remove 1 mount because the new one is a mount. So we need to do that. Free up a mount slot. We'll do that too. Meaning the Stalhounds will have a much better Stalhound unit that can actually fight in melee. So it will kill when it charges, but it will also kill in melee, in a prolonged melee fight with troops. And yeah, we need to remove a mount. So the question is which mount we will remove. So fix Una and replace that Stalhound unit, and besides that, There might be some recruitment edits that I want to do. But I don't know if I will do that now, because it will force me to replay all the campaigns, including the Hyrule campaign, which is annoying. And turn times take a while in this mod after all. They are not as fast as in Warcraft or the War. So replaying will still take a bunch of hours per campaign, I believe. The Stalhounds might take maybe 3 hours or 4. And the King of Hyrule will probably take about 5 hours or something. For Twilight probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So in total I will have to spend about 10 hours replaying stuff. Turn 5 always takes a long time to load. A lot of stuff happens on turn 5. Alright, Waterclad, River Sword on the list, Selfos, faction announcements. Yeah, Link has spawned. End of turn report. Forces with Twilight. Under Zant have the strongest military in the world and is the world's strongest faction. The Gorons have the largest population. Udona province has the best production and the Oka has the best financial situation. Also, I didn't really fight any battles here. So they got all of Midna's troops and they have all of Zant's troops too. And all the heroes, even to Una, is bugged. But yeah, we didn't fight any battles, didn't bother. So Link has spawned here. He has a bodyguard of Kadungo Yokis, only cavalry of Midna's faction here. So we couldn't really move this time from this spot. Shouldn't be a problem to take this area. Attack. Okay, stay there. Vik there. Link is strong, but he's over here. The evil Link. He replaced the Miura Link. So there are 2 Links in the campaign. Alright, we'll have to end turn again.